Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive.
Yeah.
We're going behind the scenes again today to see what's really going on in the entertainment world.
Yeah.
It's not all glitz and glamour, folks.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on behind the curtain.
Definitely.
We're talking power shifts, tech disruptions, and, ultimately, who is telling our stories?
Yeah.
That's what we're really interested in here.
Absolutely.
So our stack today comes from March 13th, 2025.
Okay.
Big day of news.
All right.
Big day of news.
Lots to unpack.
Lots to unpack. We're asking some big questions today.
Yeah.
Can AI really replace human creativity?
Ooh.
Is Netflix adapting every single book in existence?
That's a good question.
And why is everyone suddenly talking about YouTube? Like it's the next big thing.
Yeah.
So to guide us through all this, we have an expert, someone who really knows how to see the big picture and connect all the dots.
Well, it is a really interesting time for entertainment, I think.
Yeah.
You've got all these economic pressures, right?
Right.
Crazy new technology and audiences who just want something new constantly.
Yeah.
So there's both opportunity and anxiety, I would say.
I like that. Opportunity and anxiety.
Yeah.
Very Hollywood.
Very Hollywood.
Speaking of anxiety, our first headline is that Jellyfish Pictures, this well-known animation studio in the UK, they've hit pause because of financial issues.
Oh, wow.
That's got to send some ripples through the industry.
It really does. And, it's not an isolated incident. Animation and VFX are huge right now. I mean, you've got your superhero movies, your streaming series, video games, but that demand, well, it's created this, really fierce competition. And smaller studios like Jellyfish, well, they're finding it really hard to keep up with giants like Disney.
Right.
Especially with the tighter budgets after the pandemic.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's like, the rich get richer. But hold on, because there's a glimmer of hope in our stack today.
All right.
The BBC, they're stepping up to support independent producers in the UK with a big investment.
It's interesting.
And they're calling this diverse-led regional storytelling.
Okay.
They're working with companies like Riot Time in Wales.
Right.
So what does that actually mean
for
the stories that we see on screen?
So it's all about, making sure that the stories we see, they reflect the huge range of voices and experiences that exist in the UK. It's not just London. It's not just the big production companies. Think of stories in small towns and villages with all sorts of characters from different backgrounds, tackling local issues. It's all about authenticity and representation.
So it's pushing back on this idea that all the good stories have to come from the same small group of people.
Exactly. And, it brings up this huge question about the entertainment industry. How do we support these smaller creators while also acknowledging the reality that these big studios, they still hold so much power?
Yeah.
It's a tension that we're seeing across the board. And it's something for all of us to think about. What kind of stories do you want to see?
Yeah.
Where do you think the balance lies?
It's a great question for our listeners out there.
For sure.
All right, next up, the AI in the room.
Okay.
There's this new app called Pika.
Pika.
Backed by Jared Leto.
Oh, wow.
That lets you create animations.
Really?
With just your phone. It's like magic.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But I could see why some people in Hollywood might be a little freaked out.
Yeah, because if anyone can create animation, what does that mean for the people who've spent years learning how to do this?
Exactly. I mean, it's got to raise some fears about jobs, right?
Right.
And then it goes beyond animation, too. Think about deepfakes and how easy it is to manipulate someone's image.
Right.
We're seeing this with celebrities like Steve Harvey, who partnered with a company to create a digital version of himself.
Wow.
To stop people from using his image in deepfakes.
It's serious business.
It really is. It's not just some silly meme anymore.
Right.
It's about control and ownership.
Yeah.
What happens to your digital self in the age of AI?
Exactly. I mean, if anyone can create a digital replica of you, how do you control what that replica does?
Exactly.
I mean, think about the ethics of all this.
Really makes you think.
So is this Pika app just a fun new tool like CGI was back in the day? Or is this something much bigger?
That's the question.
I mean, is this the beginning of the end?
Right.
For human creativity?
I mean, the thing is, AI is making creativity so much more accessible.
Yeah, right.
You don't need years of training anymore.
Yeah.
Anyone can make something really impressive. But does that mean we'll be drowning in low-quality content?
Yeah.
Or will this give new voices a chance to tell their stories?
Right.
I mean, what even is quality when anyone can be a creator?
That is the question. And that leads us to our next big question. I mean, what does this all mean for the future of storytelling?
Yeah.
Is anyone safe from the adaptation craze?
Right.
It seems like every day another book is becoming a movie or a TV show.
Yeah.
Netflix is going crazy with it. They're adapting classics like 100 Years of Solitude and sci-fi epics like The Three-Body Problem.
Right.
But it's been mixed, you know? Some people love the visuals.
Yeah.
But they feel like something is missing.
Well, adapting a novel is a huge challenge, isn't it?
It is.
You're taking a story that could take days or weeks to read and squeezing it into a couple of hours.
Right.
And when you're dealing with books that are so rooted in a specific culture or literary tradition, it gets even trickier.
It does.
So how much creative freedom is too much?
Yeah.
Should filmmakers stay true to the book?
Right.
Or should they be able to reinterpret it?
It's a tough one.
It is.
And it gets even more interesting when you bring in things like open writing assignments.
Oh, OWAs.
You know how Netflix is adapting Elin Hilderbrand's Swan Song for season 2 of The Perfect Couple?
Right, right.
Well, they're using OWAs for it.
Interesting.
It's like a competition. Multiple writers pitch their ideas, but they don't get paid up front.
Oh, wow.
And to make it even more complicated, they're bringing back Nicole Kidman's character.
Oh, really?
From the first season, even though she wasn't in the book at all.
So they're really mixing things up.
Yeah.
Well, OWAs are a mixed bag. You know, I mean, on one hand, it creates opportunities for new writers.
Right.
But it also raises questions about unpaid labor.
Yeah.
And the competition is fierce.
It is.
It's a gamble.
It's high risk, high reward, right?
Exactly.
Would you take that gamble?
Tough call.
It's a tough one.
It is. But, hey, maybe we don't even need Netflix anymore.
Oh, what do you mean?
Have you noticed how YouTube is becoming this huge player in entertainment?
Yeah, I mean, it's turning 20 this year.
Yeah.
It's come a long way from those early days of, you know, just cat videos.
I know, right? I mean, now you've got these elaborate series with production value that rivals traditional TV.
It's amazing.
It really is. And the YouTube creators have been innovating with formats for years. They've really figured out how to connect with audiences and build their brands in this authentic way. Think about channels like Good Mythical Morning with their crazy food challenges. Or Dude Perfect with those insane sports stunts.
It's like they're constantly pushing the boundaries.
They really are. And some of them have done so well by being diverse.
Right.
You know, trying new things, adapting with their audience.
Yeah.
And then others who just stuck to one specific thing have kind of faded away.
Yeah.
It's a good lesson for these traditional media companies. You know, YouTube's success is like a wake-up call.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you need to experiment, empower these creators, and don't be afraid to take some risks.
It's a good reminder that the audience is in control now.
Exactly.
They've got so many choices.
They do.
And if they don't like something, they'll just change the channel.
Exactly. And it's not just about entertainment either. We're seeing this shift towards more documentary-style content.
Yeah.
Audiences want these real-life stories that challenge their perspective.
Right, right.
Make them think.
Speaking of documentaries, Dan Reed, the director of Leaving Neverland, is making a third part focusing on the legal battles of Michael Jackson's accusers.
Interesting.
It seems like documentaries have become this really powerful way to explore these complex and controversial issues, to give a voice to those who haven't been heard.
Absolutely. And it's not just celebrity scandals either. We're seeing documentaries about everything from social justice, like the case of Leonard Peltier, to environmental crises and political corruption.
And then there's the Thames water crisis in the UK.
Oh, right.
A real-life drama that's affecting millions of people.
Yeah.
The BBC is making a documentary about it, which shows how this format can hold these big institutions accountable and shine a light on these systemic problems.
Documentaries can be a powerful force, you know, for investigative journalism and social change.
Right.
They can really get people talking.
Yeah.
And inspire action.
So it's not just about escaping reality.
Right.
These films can really make a difference.
They can.
Now, before we wrap things up, let's take a look at some of the upcoming projects that I've got my eye on. There's a sequel to This is Spinal Tap.
Oh, wow.
I'm really curious to see if they can recapture that magic.
Yeah.
And then there's a Tiger Woods biopic produced by Barack and Michelle Obama's company.
That's interesting.
It's unexpected, but I think it has potential.
Definitely.
And don't forget the horror film Ever After with Malcolm McDowell.
He always plays those creepy characters so well.
He does. And if you're looking for something a little lighter, there's a dark comedy called Your Friends and Neighbors, starring John Hamm.
Cool. What's exciting is that there's such a variety of genres and talent involved in these projects.
Yeah.
It really points to a bright and unpredictable future for entertainment.
So from big budget blockbusters to, these indie documentaries, there's a lot going on.
There is.
What are the big takeaways from our deep dive into the entertainment industry of March 2025?
Well, I think it's clear that the entertainment industry is at a crossroads. We're seeing this power struggle, between the big studios and these independent creators.
Right.
We've got the rise of AI, and it's just got the potential to change everything.
Yeah.
And audiences, they're just more demanding than ever before.
It feels like everyone wants something new, but they're also afraid to let go of the old.
I think that's a good way to put it. It's about finding that balance between the artistic vision and the reality of the business.
Right.
And recognizing that technology is a tool. It can be used to tell better stories, or it can be used to manipulate and control.
Right.
It all comes down to how we use it.
It really does feel like we're writing the next chapter of the entertainment industry right now.
You are.
And the ending.
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't been written yet.
That's a great point.
So here's a question for everyone listening. In a world where anyone can be a creator, thanks to tools like AI and platforms like YouTube, what does the future hold for the stories that we tell and the way that we experience them? Will we see more independent voices? Or will algorithms control what we watch? It's definitely something to think about.
It is.
And for our listeners, if you have your own burning questions about the entertainment industry, anything at all, send them our way.
We'd love to hear them.
We might even do a deep dive just for you.
Exactly.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those creative juices flowing.
Absolutely.